Hi, gorgeous. Welcome back. Today we have a level 1, so it's great for beginners, but it's also great for those that have been practicing for decades that want to refine, drop in, remind themselves of the Pilates basics. So let's get started with 2.5 to 3 springs for footwork, lying on our back. I'm going to go with 2.5 and then go ahead and come all the way down. Like we said, we're going to focus in on the fundamentals. So let's just start with butterfly position and the hands resting on the front of our hips. Let your index fingers come together to connect on your pubic bone. Let the heels of your hands connect on the front of your hip points. So you've got this triangle oriented downward. And then take a deep breath in, inhale all the way down into your pubic bone, to your index fingers, your tailbone, your sitting bone. Breathe in. Relax the pelvic floor. And then as you exhale through the mouth, like you're breathing out through a straw, make that nice audible breath. Good, again like that. Inhale down, soften the pelvic floor, soften the muscles around the pubic bone and tailbone as you inhale. As you exhale out through a straw, think now a zipper from your pubic bone to your belly button. You start to zip up. One more like that. Deep breath in, pubic bone, pelvic floor softens. Inhaling down into your root. And as you exhale, zipper, pubic bone to belly button, like a pair of jeans, you're just slightly lifting up, or like you're holding in a tampon. Good, and then slowly bring your knees together. Let your heels come onto the foot bar, hip width apart. We're gonna keep that level pelvis and keep the index fingers on the pubic bone, the heels of the hands on the hip points. From there, take a deep breath in, down to the pubic bone. As you exhale, zipper up, pubic bone to belly button, press all the way out for 8. Good, inhale to pubic bone. Exhale, zipper up, 7. Good, working that pelvic floor lift. We're thinking this zipper like a pair of jeans, pubic bone to belly button. There's this subtle lift. Good, take it halfway, 4 more. Bring it home, inhale, bend. Exhale, press and reach. As we go in and out, think of those 3 points as being really level. 2 hip points, pubic bone. Good, last one. Inhale down to the pubic bone. Exhale, press all the way out, lengthen. Good, now come all the way in. Pause for a moment. If that, we think of it as the T-zone. So if pubic bone to belly button is the zipper, your hip point to hip point is that belt, like you're tightening a belt 1 notch. Think like you're buttoning or belting a pair of jeans. So now we're gonna add that one in. So think heels together in a V, knees and toes now turned out. And I want you to, as you hug your heels in, think of these 2 hip points where the heels of your hands are. They're also going to hug in. So the heels of the hands, those hip points, and the heels on the foot bar, they're going to hug in. So fingers to pubic bone, hands to the hip points, deep breath in. This time exhale, zipper up and belt it in. T-zone activation. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press and lengthen, 7. So we soften the pubic bone. We exhale, T, zipper up and belt it in, 6. 5. I feel like activation is like Power Rangers, activate. Press it out, reach. Inhale, bend. Not once have I ever thought about Power Rangers on the reformer, but today is the day. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press and reach, 3. Zip up, hug in, 2. Last one. Good, come all the way in, rest it for a moment. Maybe take your heels onto the foot bar wide and let your knees windshield wiper side to side. Let the head rest lower if it's lifted. Hands now will come by the side. Deep breath in. Exhale, bridge pose. Just let both hips lift. Pause at the top. I want you to find that T-zone. So we inhale, lower, breathe down to your pubic bone. Exhale, zip, belt it across. 8, 7. Think like an elevator. The pelvis is really level. 5, 4, T-zone, activated. 3, 2, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, squeeze your glute, pause at the top, lift through your glute for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, rest it for just a moment. And then we'll take our feet wider than our hips, about shoulder width apart. Let your feet flex, knees and toes turned out. You can always do that T. The lower triangle is what I call it, but index fingers to pubic bone, heels of the hands to hip points if that helps. Deep breath in. As you exhale, zip up, T-zone, pubic bone to belly button, hip point to hip point. We zip her up and we belt it in for 8. Perfect. 7. Now this triangle, this lower triangle that's resting on in your hands, is mimicking your sacrum. So that sacrum, the big triangular bone, the back and base of your spine, is also super level. So these 3 points are steady as we inhale, bend, exhale, zip her up and hug it in this really subtle. 2 more. Not tightening of the belt notch. Last one. Come halfway in, keep that hip point to hip point hugging in, and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press all the way out, lengthen, 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 and then gently come back in. Hug those knees into your body, maybe rock side to side. And then let's take tabletop. We're going to keep that neutral pelvis, so hip point and hip pubic bone are level. If you want to take your hands under your pelvis so that your tailbone lifts to the sky, you're welcome to, and keep that lower back nice and steady. We're going to inhale here and then tap the back of your calf up by your knee to the foot bar. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, lower it. Inhale, bring it back. Take it 4 on each side. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Continue here. I switched the breath there, but I want you to think as you exhale, zip up and belt in. 3, 3, 1 more on each side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Pause here in your tabletop and then flex your feet, and we're going to press right, left, right, left. Think zip up and belt it in. I want you to draw those hip points towards one another. 4, 4, 3. Higher if it's bothersome in your hips. 2, 2. Last 1, 1. Rest it for a moment. Let your feet come down. Take a couple deep breaths. Good. This time we're going to take like a single leg work, but you'll let your left heel come onto the foot bar. The ball of your right foot is on there. So we've got this high heel on our right side, and that's going to want to lift that right hip. So the hike, we're resisting the hike. Let the right hip lengthen away from the ribs. Feel free to take that lower Bermuda triangle. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, press all the way out. Inhale, come back in for 8, 7. So we've got this uneven foundation. One heel, one ball of the foot. It's going to want to move the pelvis, but we're keeping that zipping up. We're keeping and maintaining the belting and across the front of the hips. And because of that, T-zone is activated. Take it for 4. Inhale, bend. Exhale, reach through the heel. 3. Think really steady through that lower triangle. 2. Last one here. Press all the way out. Inhale, come all the way in, pause. Take your hands by the sides now. Inhale here. Bridge pose, single leg or B stance. Left heel down, right heel lifted for 8, 7. Now think of that elevator, the heels, The heel of the left foot is digging into the foot bar, and the pelvis is that level triangle. We lift, inhale, lower, exhale, pubic bone, zip up, hip point to hip point, hug in. 4, 3, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. 2, pulse at the top, take it to the top, pulse from that left glute. 8, 7 to 6, 5. You could challenge the stability by lifting the right leg to table. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Whew, take what you need. Right heel on the foot bar, ball of the left foot. So again, the foundation is simple. There's not a lot of choreography, but because of that simplicity, we can really dial in. Like, are we drawing up pubic bone to belly button like we're holding in a pea or a tampon? Are we belting across hip point to hip point like we're trying to fit into our date night jeans? Take a deep breath in and then exhale, press it out for 8. A little Beyonce moment. What's the song I just love? I go to hip hop class and I love it. If you can't, if you don't have to jump in your jeans, you don't know my pain, something like that. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press and reach. 5. Pubic bone to belly button, hip point to hip point. 4. It's really subtle. You can use that Pilates breath out through a straw. You can use the Ujjayi yoga breath out through the nose too, if you're not sure. Try them both. See which one feels best. Come all the way in. There's no right way. Whatever's best for you. Heel anchors. We're going to lift our pelvis, squeeze our right glute. Inhale, lower like an elevator. 8, 7. Feel that T-zone. 6, 5, 4, 3. Right glute activated. T-zone. 2. Take it to the top position. Hold. Maybe you pulse. 8, 7. Maybe you lift the leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Good. Take a moment. Hug the knees in. Rock through that pelvis. Feel the sacrum, back body connecting. And then let's come up to change the tension. Go ahead and roll to one side. Hey, girly. Our little patches behind us. So take it to 1.5 or 2 if you're feeling spicy. Yeah, maybe 2. Listen to where you're at. As you come down, headrest can be lifted or lowered for this one. Let's take it to single leg work. So we're going to take what I learned as Jake the Peg, but it's also just really focused on pelvic stability. Left heel will start. Right leg is in table. Before we do anything from here, let's just find that triangle. Heels in the hands, pubic bone. See if you can feel it being level. See if you can, before you even do anything, press the left heel slightly into the foot bar and gain the activation there of zipper and belt. Then from there, hands can stay there or come by the sides. Let's just press out, pause. Same thing, zipper in, zipper up, hug in for 8. Good. Inhale, bend, exhale, press. 7. Now, if you want, as you press, you can reach your right leg to the sky, so leg extends, and then we bend. 6, 5, but we're focused more on the pelvic stability, more on the T-zone than we are lengthening. 3, so if you lose that engagement, 2, then come out of the Jake the Peg. Keep it just in tabletop. Switch sides, right heel down, left leg to table, breathe in, exhale, zip, and then hug it in. Sometimes I'll bring the heels of my hands to the outer edges of my pelvis and think like they're corseting together. 6, 5, maybe you extend through the leg, zipper up, hug it in. 4, 3, 2, inhale, bend, exhale, lengthen. 1, good. Come all the way in, rest it for a moment. Take a couple deep breaths. Let's take bicycle. So ball of the left foot on the bar with the heel high. This one adds some complexity, but we're going to practice it. The right leg will come over the foot bar. So already, for me, if you feel with that right leg long, the arch of your spine wants to exaggerate and The pubic bone dips lower than your hip points. Lift the leg a little higher so you can feel your tailbone come up off the reformer, and those 3 points are level. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, press out the bed of the reformer, tabletop the knee for 8. Reach over the foot bar, bring it to table 7. Inhale, exhale 6, 5, perfect. 4, 3, both sides of the waist are long. 2, inhale, bend, exhale, 1, switch it, bring it all the way in, right foot sit bone distance, left leg over the foot bar, lift that tailbone, breathe in, exhale, whew, little foot cramps, 8, pubic bone to belly button, we zip up, hip point to hip point, we hug in, 6, 5, think train track through the femurs, train track through the knees, 4, long through both sides of the waist, 3, 2, inhale, bend, exhale, press it out, 1, good, come all the way in, pause it for a moment, take a butterfly stretch, let the soles of the feet come back together, let the knees open wide, and then we'll take feet in the straps. You can leave 2 springs, you can adjust it. I'm going to adjust mine now that I think about it to 1.5 or 1 3/4. Let the feet come into the straps. Let your heels come into frog. So knees and toes turned out, heels connect. Before you do anything, think of as you hug those heels in, can you draw hip point to hip point? It should feel really good. It's like, oh gosh, I don't think I've thought about that all day. We're going to inhale here, exhale, press and reach, point the toes for 8. Inhale, bend, exhale, press and reach, 7. Zip it up, 6. Tailbone stays kind of oriented to the sky just slightly. Feel that little lift so that when you lift the tailbone, you feel pubic bone to belly button. There's this zip, slight lift. 3, hip point to hip point. 2, press it out, hold it long. 1, and then hug in like a little beat out in. 8, 7, zip or belt. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Bend the knees again, take it to frog. This time we'll come into 3-part. So we'll take an inhale here, tailbone is lifted. Exhale, lengthen both legs, point the ankles. Keep them turned out, feet to the sky, and then bend back to that frog. Press it forward. Let's take it 5 in each direction. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, bend and reach. 4. So the heels connecting should feel like that little subtle hug of the hip points together, like the tautness of the top of a drum. It should almost feel like the front of your pelvis is hugging away from the waistband of the yoga pants or sweatpants, even if it's not and the pants are still tight there or form-fitting. It's almost like that tautness is happening. It is happening deeper towards the spine. Good, reverse. So to reverse, we inhale, bend, lengthen to the sky. Exhale, press it away. 5. Inhale, bend, slide the heels up the wall, reach it forward. 4. Tailbone wants to dip down. Hip points want that connection. We kind of forget it. See if we can feel tailbone lift. Pubic bone draws towards belly button. 2 more, hip point to hip point. You're like, I thought this was beginner. Why are there so many cues? Bend. Whew. Good, bend the knees. Foundational doesn't necessarily mean easy, does it? I think these practices are the hardest, but I feel so much more the following day. Like, oh, I actually did Pilates. Versus sometimes we get caught up in the choreography. Let's take it through big circles, internally rotated, and that will be our last one because this is a shorter practice. We're going to lengthen it forward. We're going to turn the legs in. That internal rotation presses down, comes all the way out and around, and circles around 8 in this H in each direction for this one. Take your time. Only go as low as you can keep that little lift in the tailbone. There's 6. Hip point to hip point. You can use the triangle. Index fingers on pubic bone, heels of the hands on hip points. It's so helpful whether you're doing a reformer class, a mat class, a strength lifting session, a HIIT session. I even really think of that little lift of the tailbone when I'm running or swimming. Good, reverse to feel that deep core activation. 8 in this direction. Like a tiny little zipper. Holding in a tampon, just really subtle. There are these little whisper fibers. They're activated by that exhale. There's this zipping in. Hip point to hip point, like the tautness of a drum. 2 more. Meanwhile, the inner thighs are like, what is happening? Good. Circle it all the way around. Go ahead and take your feet out of the straps. Roll to one side and then come up. Okay, next we're coming into side line. So you can, for sideline, ball up a sweatshirt. You can also take a yoga block. I'm going to grab a yoga block in here. You can take a yoga ball, but we're going to keep the spring tension and come lying onto the side. Any sideline work, the pelvis will want to tilt back. See if we can stack the hips and feel that draw, hip point to hip point. As we come all the way in, let the right foot come onto the foot bar parallel, and the left leg, top leg, and the bottom leg will reach under. Top hand can push on the shoulder rest. Before you do anything, I want you to feel that belting across. Just a little activation, subtle. Inhale here, exhale, press it out for 8. Long through the side of the waist, 7. Hand can come to hip if that helps, 6. Long and strong through both legs, 5, 4, 3, long through the back of the neck, 2. Inhale, bend, exhale, press and zip it up, 1. Good, come all the way in. Let that leg turn out now. I just want you to keep it turned out. Squeeze that glute. We're going to stay here, and then bottom leg will lift to the top and lower down. 8, 7, 6. Think pubic bone zips, hip point to hip point. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take it to the top position. Hold it. Pulse that leg lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep it lifted. Press out. Hug the heels together. You can even kiss them as you kiss the hip points together for 8. Inhale, bend. Last little bit. Hug it in. 7, 6. Hips are stacked. 5, 4. Are you feeling inner thighs? I majorly am. 3, 2. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press and reach. 1. Good. Come all the way in. Spin it around to the other side. Take a moment if you need. Top heel is parallel. We're going to lengthen both sides of the waist. Feel. So I like to think front pelvis hugging in. Front pelvis is hugging in. Bottom leg is lengthening. Inhale here. Hip point to hip point. Hug it in and press it out for 8. Good. Take your time. Position if you need. 7. When we think about this lower triangle, I mean, it's a game changer. 6, 5, 4. It really helps with low back. 3, when we can feel this. So if you're kind of 2, struggling to feel it. 1, come all the way in. Turn that top leg out. I want you to squeeze that top glute, and we'll lift and lower the bottom leg for 8, 7, 6. If you're struggling to feel it, give it time. It takes a handful of practices, 6 to 8, to start to feel like, okay, what is that? 6 to 8 focused practices on that, what that is, and then we can integrate it. Take it to that top position, hold and pulse. 8, 7, 6, zipper in. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up, breathe in. Exhale, press it out, heels connect. Hip point to hip point, mimics that motion at the bottom of the heel. 7, 6, wrapping the thigh around. 5, long and strong through top and bottom leg. 4, 3, inhale, bend, exhale, press and reach. 2, last one here, inhale, bend, exhale, press and reach. Come all the way back in, come up, come back up. Good, rest it. Whew. Okay, so let's take it to knee. We've just got a couple, I'm looking at my board here. We've got a couple more to finish us off. We've got knee stretches next, which is similar to a plank. Bring it to one full spring. We'll take from there the hands onto the foot bar. You can adjust based on what feels comfortable on your neck and shoulders, but I want you to think of feet on the foot blocks. And for a moment here, just press out to your plank however you would naturally do that, okay? I might go down, let's see, to 3/4 or a full spring. These springs are a little tighter. And then we'll press back and we're just gonna hold it. And then I want you to pause here and think, lift the front of your pelvis, like you're trying to tuck your tailbone towards your pubic bone or towards the foot bar. Pause there, front pelvis is lifted. And then inhale, keep that front pelvis lifting as we lengthen over the foot bar. Exhale, press it out, lift the front of the pelvis. Go back as far as you want. 4 like this, 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, keep the front pelvis lifted. Think zipper belting in. 2. Lifting the front of the pelvis. We're active and long through the arms. 2. On the final one, press back. This time, hold it back there. So we're keeping the front pelvis lifting as we inhale, bend the knees. Pelvis stays right in space. 8. So this is technically an easy movement, but if we 7, inhale, tailbone, sit bones, pelvis are steady. Exhale, lift the front of the pelvis like we're hugging the front of the pelvis away from the waistband of our pants. 6. Zipper up, pubic bone to belly button. 5. Hip point to hip point. 4. Using that Pilates breath. You can imagine you're exhaling out through a straw. 2. 1, let's hold it, maybe even press back. 4, front pelvis is lifted. You might tuck the tail towards the front of the reformer. 2, 1, come all the way in. Okay, go ahead and come down. Let's take it to mermaid, 1 red spring. Shin to shoulder rest. Inside hand to the foot bar. From there, top hand's going to reach all the way up. Deep breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Front pelvis lifted, take it up and over to the other side. 2 more like that, inhale. So as we press out, I want you to think zipper, belted in. There's a lot to focus on always when we're doing movement. Not a lot like it needs to be intense, but like there's so many things that we can put our attention towards. But for today, see if you can feel that lower triangle. Zipping up and hugging in. This is a little harder. We've got asymmetry with the lower body. The spine is moving more. Come all the way up and over. Rotate towards your foot bar and just pause it here. Think of lifting that front pelvis still in and up. As we inhale, just bend your elbows for this one and exhale. 8. Think pubic bone to belly button. Zip it up. 7. Hip point to hip point. 6. Good. Long spine. Press the heels of the hands away from the foot bar using your powerhouse, using that deep core. It's really subtle, but the more subtle, the more powerful. 4, 3. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press away. Zip up and belt in. 2, 1. Come all the way in. Good. Take it to the other side. Spin and reorient. Hand on the foot bar. Think pubic bone to belly button. Breathe in. Exhale, belt the hip points together. Press it out. Find the stopper. Bring it to the back. 2 more. Zip up, hip point to hip point. And last one. You know, I think we get inundated, and I'm just as guilty as a teacher with giving so many cues. But it's really nice to have a practice occasionally where it's just one body part. Take it all the way over this pelvic floor, transverse, T-zone. Inhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend, rather. Exhale, lengthen. 8. Down into your pubic bone, soften as you inhale. Think like the very beginning of class. We're softening pelvic floor. We're softening the muscles around the pubic bone, the root. Warm and wide as we breathe in. Everything softens as we exhale. Zip it up. Pubic bone to belly button, hip point to hip point. 3, 2. Last one. Good. Come all the way in. Oh, so nice. Okay, let's do one more exercise standing. We're going to work that front pelvis lifting. You can have the block there, or you can set it off. That's up to you. The foot bar will position to where it's best on your reformer so that you can come to stand. Let your spring tension stay at either one red spring or 3/4 of a spring. And then go ahead and step onto the platform side first. And then the inside foot will come to the inside of that bed. From here, go ahead and slightly turn the feet out, just tiny. Sink down into this little squat. Front pelvis is lifted though. We're zipping up, we're belting in. We're going to pause. Inhale here. Pacha's yawning. Exhale, press that outside leg away for 8. 7. Good. 6. Stabilize through that pelvis. It's super still. 5. 4. Front pelvis lifted. 3. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press it out. 2. 1. Come all the way in. Pause. Shake it out. Take it to the other side. The other leg moving now. So we sink down. Front pelvis lifted. You can shift over the platform leg, but zipper, hug in. This is the focus. The legs are the secondary focus for today. For 8. We're pressing the platform leg away. 7. And as we do it, we're keeping the pelvis still. So it's not hiking. It's still because this transverse is activated. That's the T. That's the hugging across the front. 4. 3. 2. 1. Come all the way in. Wowza. Whew. Last one. Step down or listen to your body. Take it to the other side. Let the feet slightly turn out. Let the insides of the feet there hook onto the edges. Front pelvis lifted. Breathe in. Outside leg presses out. 8. There's this beautiful cardinal outside. 7. Level through the pelvis. 6. And it's snowy. It's gorgeous. 4. 3. Front pelvis lifted. 2. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press and reach. 1. Come up, stand tall, lift up out of the hips. And we'll take it to the other side to bring us home. Go ahead and sink it down. Lift the front of the pelvis. Inhale to the pubic bone. We soften. We exhale, press it out with the platform leg for 8. 7. Good. if you're squatting, if you're deadlifting, if you're doing walking lunges, if you're here on the reformer, if you're on the mat, if you're walking the dog, 4, 3. You can bring these principles in. 2, last one, 1. Come all the way in. Okay, go ahead and come down safely. And let's stretch it out to finish. Feel free to put the right foot on the floor, the right foot on the platform. Let's take our hip flexor stretch and stretch out through the hip flexor by lifting the front of the pelvis. You might stay here, you might press back a little bit, and 5 deep breaths. Yeah, but so I danced my whole life. That's how I got into Pilates. And so I think of like a gymnast, just such an arch for a lot of athletes and dancers, and maybe you have that just naturally. And so to protect that low arch, that activation of the front of the pelvis really supports the lumbar spine or the lower spine. Take it to the other side. And so I say all that to say the focus of really working pubic bone to hip point, kind of when I was old enough to say, okay, I have to do something about this. I have now no back pain, but each one is obviously individual where it was constant, but that teaching and working with the body step by step, chipping away, she will respond. She does best in slow little whispers and then come all the way in. Whew, okay, I hope you enjoyed that class with pelvic floor, transverse. Remember, our pelvic floor is like this base, this root of our pelvis. So it's like we inhale down, we're going to bring the breath. You'll feel the belly soften, you'll feel the ribs expand. The breath will come all the way down to the base. And then there's just this little, like we're picking up a tissue, this soft little lift just deep in the pelvis. As we lift there, we hug in like a corset. And our body just knows what to do. Now, before we close, know that this takes time. And I've been teaching and doing this for a long time. And it's like, I still can go through a class and be like, I don't know that I felt my pelvic floor at all. So some days we get there, some days we don't. Be gentle with yourself and know that it's really just if it supports and helps. So it's like, oh, if I do that, my low back feels so much better. So it's worth me saying, I'm going to back, I'm going to reverse and do another repetition. I'm going to dial the tension down. I'm going to lower the speed until I can do whatever the thing is where that pelvic floor is engaged. And other times it's like, I just need to get the energy out. I'm feeling something. We're not focused on that. So wherever you're at, meet yourself there. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. One more deep breath in. Call in what you want. Ask the universe. Don't be afraid to go big. Bring it all the way down to your heart because you happy is a happier world. Bring your hands around. Give yourself a big hug. Pachamama over here. Stretch, stretch, stretch. So thank you so much. I will see you in the next class. If you have questions or comments about any of the cueing or classes, just message. And I would love to see you in the app, which is a really cool new thing. Thank you so much for devoting time to your body, to your heart. So much love. Mwah. And I'll see you in the next